Let's just take a moment to ground, absorb the sounds around you, observe how you feel about the sounds that you're hearing. And perhaps you notice that the breath is sitting like a little bit tightly on your chest because in your mind you think that you need to have peace in order to be peace. And I'm here to remind you that you need to be peace to have peace. So take a deep breath into the body and a deep breath out. So this week has had a series of events that have um, been very interesting, a whole lot of emotions flowing through it, but the root of it is still gratitude. It's just like taking a moment to really realize how far you've actually come and realizing when the vision was given to you versus where you are with the embodiment of it now. It's time to celebrate. It's really time to celebrate because if you grew up in chaos, you would attract more chaos. And not only would you attract more chaos, you would pass down your chaos to someone who is calm. So, because of my upbringing, I have been trained fiercely around safety because you cannot have safe spaces without safe people. And you cannot have safe people without the recognition and acknowledgement of how you could be unsafe for somebody. So I've been training, and the level of unsafety that exists is so subtle. It's so subtle that when you first engage with it, there's like a hesitancy and then a willingness because you must also allow for flow. And then within the container of flow, there must be structure because flow only feels safe with structure. So if you're finding people in your life that don't have structure and like to flow, that will be unsafe. And I've been meditating a lot more outside and really enjoying time in nature and just listening in, tuning into what's happening with like even the clouds, the wind, the temperatures, because ancestry is in nature. That's why in some areas they want to cut them down because they know the power that trees and nature have because they communicate with us. Just like you see the nervous system of a tree, it will like anchor it like has its leaves and its fruits or vegetables or flowers, and then that network is like our neural network in our bodies, right? it it spreads out. You see when you take out a weed, it spreads out. So that neural network that is in the trees Remember, I said chaos attracts chaos and chaos can attract calm. Because we are attracted to nature, we are going back into our natural state. And it's a way for us to be able to recalibrate the nervous system because it's connected. Within this connection, the trees, it is the same thing with us. That's why when we come into trees and we come into nature, we feel calm because chaos is attracted to calm. And then what calm does is it gives calm. So the nervous system is always communicating to you. What then happens is you start thinking. You start thinking, no, it's not true. I must be like, you know, like I'm not feeling okay. You will doubt the communication that was felt in your body. And this is what the system has, once again, like I said, beautifully done. It is not safe in our homes. Not all, but it's not safe for some of you who are resonating or still here. It is not safe in our homes. And you wonder if it is not safe in our homes, what will happen is we try to create safety in our jobs and in our works and in the external environment of where we come to just feel safe, right? If it's not safe in your home, it's not going to feel safe outside, and your nervous system is still carrying that chaos, right? So you will attract that, or you will attract the opposite. So observe that. But your nervous system, if you feel like when you're speaking to someone, you start to feel like caged, like you can't breathe, or you start to feel like you're going for a slight jog, you start to lose your breath. It's your nervous system communicating to you that it is not safe. And whether it's because of the person or it's because of the environment, either or, it's a reflection of the nervous system that's saying, communicating to you, this is not safe. It is not safe to be here. Okay. And depending on the holding space around you, they will be able to engage with your level of unsafety or engage with your level of safety. So nature is constantly communicating to us, and it's saying, please let's stop overriding the body, because the wisdom of the body is constantly communicating to you. The reason why some of you are also stressed too is that we are having conversations on other people's behalf, trying to betray and negate the first instinct that was given to us. The first instinct is always true. And then in that holding space, you can be able to allow the healing that reflects back what in me is recreating that story so that I can be able to heal this narrative within my nervous system. I hope that makes sense. Um, but it's just a message to really understand how you're breathing when someone's speaking to you or in that environment will tell you it is not safe, and it's telling you to be able to ground. Now, do you have people around you who feel safe? Check, because that is a mirror towards you and you are a mirror towards it. That now it becomes a conversation and an invitation to say, I'm not feeling safe. Okay, you're not feeling safe. Maybe you feel rejected from that sort of feeling, like you just like, how, but I've done so much to be able to be safe. What have I done? And then allow yourself to understand that your nervous systems are communicating, just like how when you are called to go into nature, the nature, that neural network is communicating to our neural network in our bodies. It's the same. So If someone's not feeling safe in your space, how are you possibly participating? How are you participating in a way that says, oh, I'm not safe? This is not safe. And there could be so many reasons why. Guys, we have so many different stories, from just violence in the home, any form of abuse, whether physical or emotional. It impacts us in ways that your nervous system has come to reflect within my nervous system how to be safe and whether I am safe or not. So it's a conversation to be had every single time. Every single time I work with a client too, I always have to make sure, am I feeling safe? Have I picked up energy from outside or perhaps from a previous client that I've had? Am I transferring this energy to them? So it's constantly having to ground oneself into oneself. For me, it is so important to make sure that I'm feeling in my body. And then that conversation, what about this isn't safe? And some cases, you will allow a different narrative to open up. And then in some cases, that narrative is just the truth. So listen into the body. Safety is feeling grounded. Safety is feeling like you can take a deep breath in and out. Safety is not having to have conversations on other people's behalf without them there. Safety is not having to cater to people's needs who haven't requested from you what they need. Safety is clarity. Safety is joy. Safety is a knowing. Safety is presence. That even if there are triggers, there is safety in a presence because you understand what safety feels like. So never allow someone else to dictate when um you know you're not feeling safe, that when they think that you aren't safe. The body, I promise you, will never lie. And that's what I'm here to teach and help with. Because once you listen to the body with what someone says, with how they feel, how they act, you can perceive a lot more once you go into deep silence and stillness, so that you can feel the breath, which is constantly trying to pour in unconditional love. And you can receive it because you're worth it. You're worth just being safe. So take a deep breath. When everything has settled, it must feel like that peace that surpasses your own understanding. You won't even be able to make sense of, how is this peaceful? Anyways, you're going to get whatever you needed to get from that. There's certain like poetic um, flow in that, and then some truth. Let's learn to be comfortable. Let's learn to be safe for everybody around us by being safe for ourselves first. Because what I was trying to say earlier is, besides the any abuse that has happened in the home, your nervous system is carrying information. And as kids, we felt a lot. And then we were told to basically believe more of the physical existence than what we felt. So then we ended up betraying ourselves, and we betrayed in order to belong, and we betrayed in order to not be called crazy, and we betrayed ourselves so that we can just be safe. And that wasn't safety. So we're healing this narrative today that says anything otherwise, that our yes is our yes, our no is our no, and our maybe is a no, because the nervous system knows. Start trusting the wisdom of the body.